Hello everyone, I all hope you had a very, very wonderful day and a very blessed evening and an afternoon as well. I hope you all had a very wonderful day and an afternoon and an evening as well, guys. Thank you for all your support in watching and in viewing my episode, guys. It totally means a lot to me. So God bless you all. On today's episode, we're to talk about a powerful ancient supervillain known as Ghost Boy, who is a member of a secret society of supervillains known as the Order of the Five that decides the fate of humanity and then wants to rule and conquer the known universe and the rest of sacred existence in the process. So let's exactly get to it. In Ghost Boy's early life, he's been ruling the dark dimension for many centuries and for many, many years. He's been exactly able to combine his dark magic with his abilities and with his greater power. He even has the ability to traveling throughout space time and throughout space and time in order to exactly see what exactly happened. He rules all the other dark dimensions and he exactly rules them with an iron fist. During at that time, he has a group of powerful dark magic users as his followers, known as the Winds, who exactly follow his every command and every command and every command and every order that Ghost Boy exactly takes. These dark magic users exactly follow Ghost Boy's command and orders precisely in order to attacking other worlds and other civilization. Ghostboy exactly decided in order to attacking other worlds and other civilization in order to test his power and his ability, which successfully was able to do. In doing so, Ghostboy created a giant machine known as a ghost machine that is capable of harvesting and destroying planets in one fell swoop. He and the other dark magic users combine their dark magic and their abilities all in one, capable of destroying other worlds and other planets, which successfully it was able to do. But this destruction of other worlds and other planets caught the attention of the Light Hunters and of the Four Nation Hunters, which exactly drove them to fight against this most powerful ancient entity it has existed for many centuries and for many millennia. During at the time, the Light Hunters and the Four Nation Hunters waged war with Ghost Boy and his dark forces of evil, which they were able successfully able to take down. Ghost Boy exactly disappeared and then exactly teleported himself out during the battle until the Light Hunter destroyed the entire asteroid base with his light magic and ability. The other dark magic users were destroyed within the battle, and Ghost Boy exactly returned straightly into his central headquarters, where it's another secret laboratory layer that is quietly in a dark planet that has no life and no resources or anything else like that. Within that dark, deadly planet is an ancient and powerful mystical temple. That is where exactly Ghost Boy exactly returned from through his central headquarters. During at that time, Ghost Boy was approached by Dark Light, who is an original member of the Order of the Five, who exactly wanted to extend an invitation to Ghost Boy, telling him that he's very quietly intrigued and very quietly impressed of his talents and his powers and his abilities, stating that his expertise could be very invaluable to the organization and also to the secret society that Dark Light has exactly managed to create and reform for many centuries. Stating that Ghost Boy could exactly benefit as well by joining forces with Darklight and by helping each other with a common cause and with them finding common cause and also finding common ground with their greatest mission to achieve their greatest mission and their greatest conquest. Gosper was quietly intrigued and very enlightened of this proposal and very quietly surprised by it, and he decided to accept the offer that he's now a full member of the Order of the Five. He shook hands with Darklight, who's another powerful dark magic user and who's original member of an ancient secret society of supervillains known as the Order of the Five, which he exactly shook hands with him, remarkable of a partnership that they hereby associates. On the 1st of January, when one dog druid exactly committed when one dog druid exactly reported and when one dog druid exactly reported and commended an audience with the members of the Order of the Five. He told the members of the Order of the Five that the Universal Heroes destroyed all the shipments and all the shadow energy shipments and products in a process which they could not exactly able to salvage in the process. Darklight exactly told the Dark Druid that everything else is going according to plan, the way it's intended to be, without any further interruptions. And Ghost Boy was quietly present within that video conference. On the 10th of January, when the Shadow Empire warlord exactly reported to the members of the Order of the Five, reported to the members of the Order of the Five by exactly receiving an audience with the members of the Order of the Five. He told them that his mutual success over the technology was taken and stolen by the Universal Heroes and by the Intergalactic Coalition, which were able to disrupt the transportation delivery system with the portal of the newest partner and of the newest ally. But of course, the goddess of life exactly told the Shadow Empire warlord that everything else is back in track, that the technology that they have required from the other worlds and other civilization would exactly take down the universal heroes and put an end to them once and for all. And Ghostbusters was quietly present at that video audience conference at that time. On the 1st of February, the members of the Order of the Five held another video audience with the Order of the Five's enforcer known as Stillface, who was able to successfully retrieve a batch of shadow energy, telling the members of the Order of the Five that the Universal Heroes exactly disrupted the project system and the rest of the cargo due to the interference of the heroes. Darklight exactly suggested that the Universal Heroes' interference is now enemy action and that they have to be wiped out completely, that they are the enemy of the Order of the Five, and that they'll be specifically have to be taken out immediately. And Ghost Boy was quietly present on that video audience conference at that time. On the 10th of February, Black Spot was able to report his loss in not exactly recovering the objective of the crystal, which he waged war with which he fought a battle against the Universal Warriors, telling the members of the Order of the Five that he couldn't successfully retrieve the objective that he was after, but the objective was quietly destroyed within a blast radius. Dark Light exactly reassured Black Spot that everything else is going on track the way it's intended to be, without any other further interruptions or any other further valuable interruptions, and that everything else is on track. And Ghostbusters was quietly present within the video audience conference at that time as well. On the 15th of February, Ghost Boy exactly was quietly present on another video conference with the members of the Order of the Five when Stillface and another supervillain exactly brought back a sample of the crystal that was quietly destroyed from the battle, stated to them that everything else is going on track, and Dark Light was very pleased that everything else is going on track the way it's supposed to be, and that the operations can finally exactly begin to take place one way or another, that everything else is finally beginning to take place. On the first of March, Ghost Boy exactly and the other dark magic users begin conducting experiments with the crystal, able to launch their dark magic powers and the abilities at the crystal in order for the crystal to be highly activated and its power source to be highly activated and to be highly anticipated. In doing so, they were quietly interrupted by the Universal Magic Heroes, which were able to storm their base, and Ghost Boy and the other dark magic users fought against the Universal Magic Heroes for quite some time. Ghost Boy exactly decided in order to alter the escape of his forces and his followers, which he conducted to do, and he teleported them all of them out, and he also took the experiment along with them. The Universal Magic Heroes were quietly unaware that those bad guys were quietly experimenting with something dark and very, very dangerous, but they weren't able to exactly report back to Universal Magic Girl about exactly what Ghost Boy was exactly scheming at that time. On the 10th of March, Ghost Boy, Shadowfall, Golden Knight, Red Knight, Red Knight, and also who else? Dog Witch Girl, and also Dog Witch Girl, and Notin Michael Max Knight, and also Notin King stage a raid on the Shadow Empire facility, able to taking all the unprecedented experiments and everything else along with. And Ghost Boy was quietly present at that time, where Mark exactly took a cryogenetic freeze pod along with all the other experiments, when Shadowfall exactly stated that all these experiments could be useful for the coming conflict and also for the coming war, meaning they could be very, very useful and very, very helpful as well. And Ghost Boy was quietly present with the rest of the members of the Order of the Five, who staged a raid on a Shadow Empire facility by taking all the enchanted stasis cryofreeze pods in order for them to be used as weapons or as living weapons, to becoming a huge supernatural alien superhuman army for the coming conflict and wars that are exactly about to come. and Ghost Boy was very reluctantly pleased. On the 1st of April, Ghostboy attended a video conference of the members of the Order of the Five held by Dark Light, exactly congratulating the operative on his greatest job and his greatest mission. Says that the Order of the Five is quietly pleased with his work and with his development, said that he'd done a very good job and a very, very good work indeed, which meaning that he can exactly be able to continue his operations and everything else, and the Order of the Five will continue supplying him as well during at that time. On the 10th of April, Gospel was quietly present on an audience that the members of the Order of the Five held in order to speaking with the Order of the Five's enforcer by telling Stillface, where Darklight exactly told Stillface that the Order of the Five appreciates his support and his services and his services and also his great works with the Order of the Five, and that the Order of the Five is grateful for Stillface to becoming the enforcer of the group, and I'm very, very quietly grateful for his services, and that they still need his services, and that they will exactly in due time need more of them for the coming conflicts and for the coming wars. And Stillface was reluctantly pleased that his services have been recognized in his work and that they've been highly appreciated, and that he sees himself as also becoming a member, or rather a leading enforcer, chief enforcer of the Order of the Five as well. And Gospel was quietly present on that video, or on the video audience with the rest of the members of the Order of the Five during at that time as well. On the first of May, Ghost Boy exactly returned to his secret layer laboratory in order to experiment with shadow energy and ghost magic in order to harness his power and his abilities. When one dark magic druid exactly appeared to Ghost Boy, telling him that Witchcaster is searching for a dark and energy ultimate power that could hold the key to shifting the balance of power rapidly, very badly, and very, very quietly goodly. Ghostboy was very intrigued that Witchcaster, the most powerful witch and associate of the Shadow Empire, is searching for a powerful energy, dark spell, magical power, which could hold the key to the balance of power. Ghostboy exactly told the Doctor to keep him informed and to keep him on the loop on exactly which Witchcaster is doing on the search for the dark power, and also to keep him apprised and to keep him intact, and also to keep him informing him by any means necessary. The Doctor quietly agreed as well during at that time, which he happily exactly was able to oblige. On the 10th of May, Gospel exactly attended a video conference with the members of the Order of the Five, where Master Shadow reassured the members of the Order of the Five that everything else is quietly going in schedule the way it's supposed to be, and that everything else is quietly in place, dealing with the Universal Earth Heroes and the Universal Heroes and the Intergalactic Coalition, and with the destruction and death of the original World of Magic, which created a power vacuum within the Empire, which quietly destabilized it, forcing up the Shadow Empire Warlord and Commander to form a secretive alliances with ancient groups of supervillains, such as the Founders, the Unholy Alliance, the Order of the Six, the Order of the Seven, and the Galactic as well, and the Order of the 12, and the Sacred Circle. These are the ancient groups of super villains and ancient secret societies of supervillains that have existed and lived for many years. Some are quietly modern and are quietly new. Others of them are quietly ancient groups that exactly been operating throughout sacred history and throughout the sacred world for many years. And the Four Nation Hunters knows very well that these ancient groups of supervillains are the reason for the chaos and the destruction and the havoc that the Shadow Empire has been remaining in power and in control over the galactic wars and over the control of the galactic wars and manipulating these wars as well. Just for you guys to understand that, if you exactly do. So let's exactly get to it. Ghost Boy was exactly present on a video audience when Master Shadow reassured the members of the Order of the Five that everything else is on track and that the schedule is quietly on track, and was also quietly pleased as well. Ghost Boy was very quietly pleased and very quietly happy with this development as well. On the 1st of July, on the 1st of June, Ghost Boy exactly attended a meeting of the Dark Magic users, where one Dark Druid, Dark Faithful, Dark Wind, and Dark Witch, and an Ice Druid and an Ice Witch exactly began discussing the options in order to exactly expand their powers and their magic. Ghost Boy exactly decided in order for them to rule to join him in ruling all the other dark dimensions and commanding and leading the monsters of the dark dimensions, which could wipe out the Four Nation Hunters and all the sacred hunters of the sacred world, which they can exactly take control of the sacred world and of the sacred universe in the process. All the dark magic users were very quietly intrigued by Ghost Boy's suggestion and his opinion, and they decided to go for it exactly, and also to give it a try as well. On the 10th of June, Ghost Boy attended video conference of the members of the Order of the Five, when Master Shadow exactly told them that the new Lord of Magic and his new ancient secret society of supervillains known as the Order of Power is highly active and is very quietly highly active and exactly still exactly forming and reforming the new Shadow Empire within the shadows by recruiting Shadow Empire warlords and commanders and generals and commanders and generals within the shadows in order for them to exactly work together, and they're still exactly supplying them with destructive technology, meaning that the new Lord of Magic and his new secret society known as the Order of Power are growing in power and are also ascending in power, and his new unknown Shadow Empire that's quietly rising from the shadows, and with the original Shadow Empire that's under the current leadership of Red Bolt, who is the founder and leader of the Dark Order, another powerful ancient group of supervillains that wants to control and manipulate wars and also rule the sacred universe and the sacred world, and that wants to wage war with the Star Empire that's quietly founded and led by the Star Prince and also by the Star Witch Queen as well, who want to exactly rule the sacred universe and conquering it. Two empires are looking at all at war, guys. Two empires, formidable, powerful, are looking at all at war. Unlike the Hobbit and Core, which has no interest in waging war with the Star Empire, only interested in conquering the known universe and the rest of the known worlds, that's its best interest exactly. But despite that, the Shadow Empire wants to rule and dominate its presence throughout the galaxy, like the Star Empire as well. Master Shadow was quietly conflicted that the two empires are looking at all out war, and that they could exactly benefit when the two empires are looking at all out war, and that they could exactly benefit when the two empires exactly fight each other. But despite that, he reassured the members of the Order of the Five that everything else is back on track, and that they should never underestimate the Universal Prince and the members of the Order of the 12, or the Star Prince and the rest of the members of the Order of Power as well. And Ghostboy was quietly present on that video conference as well. On the 1st of July, Ghostboy exactly decided in order to experiment with shadow energy, able to increase his immortality and his power and his intelligence as well. He fused himself with shadow energy and also with more power. During at that time, he was able to receive word from one of his dark druids that the dark druids and the dark witches are also exactly beginning their own operations in ruling and harnessing the power of the dark dimension. And Ghostboy was completely, very much quietly and intrigued about this news that he decided to take matters into his own hands as well. On the 10th of July, Ghostboy exactly arrived on the skies of the other magical worlds and civilization. He and the other four dark magic users attacked the warlocks, fairies, witches, and light druids, and fairies and witches and light druids in a process in order to gain control of the other worlds and other civilization, which they put them under hypnosis by controlling them as living puppets. Ghostboy exactly told the inhabitants of the other magical worlds and civilization that they now serve the Order of the Five, and that they work for the Order of the Five, and that they work for him, and that they exactly serve him. And the inhabitants exactly bowed and quietly agreed that they are the service of the Order of the Five. That Ghostboy exactly told them to collect every minerals and every magical crystal and supply them to the dark magic users in order for him to harness the power, of shadow energy and the power of the rift and the power of the dark entities as well in the process as well. And Ghostboy was reluctantly pleased and very, very gratefully happy with this development as well. On the 1st of August, Ghostboy exactly was in his dark crystal room meditating, getting more stronger and getting more powerful and getting more dangerously powerful and strong, and also very, very, very powerful indeed, and also getting all the power and absorbing all the dark magic and all the dark energy from the powerful dark crystal that he was quietly able to obtain and acquire from the other worlds. And he became more powerful and more very, very powerful, able to frequently listen to the events of the universe and then the chaos and the destruction and everything else that's quietly happened. Ghostboy exactly realized that he can have more power than anything else, and he decided to compete against the most powerful warlock ever existed in the sacred world, known as Baal, who is a superhero and a member of the New Alliance and a member of the Universal Heroes, and also compete against Universal Magic Girl as well and the Universal Magic Heroes, which Ghostboy realized that though those heroes are his greatest arch enemies and his greatest arch enemies and his nemesis, and he can never underestimate them or never take them lightly ever again. Exactly. On the 10th of August, on the 10th of August, Ghost Boy exactly attended a meeting of the members of the Order of the Five in a video conference where Dark Light exactly reassured the members of the Order of the Five that the Shadow Empire has quietly agreed to supply them with more destructive technology and more powerful technology as part of their deal and part of their pact, that everything else is going according to plan, the way it's intended to be, and order will exactly soon be restored the way it's intended to be, and the newly normal magic and exactly rising in power and descending in power might become a problem, but not if they use the universal heroes and the intergalactic coalition to their advantage in order to disable and cripple the new Shadow Empire and also the new Shadow Empire and Red Bull's power and the Star Empire in a process which they could exactly benefit by becoming the sole rulers of the cosmos in the process as well. And Ghostboy was reluctantly pleased and very happy with this development and very quietly proud of this development as well. On the 1st of September, Ghostboy exactly returned to the Dark Dimension, able to exactly gather all the crystals and everything, where he conversed with the Dark Druids in order to become more powerful and more immortal than ever before, and he began to seize more intelligence and more knowledge than ever before and more faster. And this time he told the Dark Magic users to keep him on the fold about the Dark Energy, Dark Spell Energy Ultimate Power, that the Dark Witches, that the Dark Sisters, who are a powerful group of Dark Witches and who are higher ranking members of another secret group of supervillains known as the Order of Power, that is quietly founded and led by Lord Jet, who is the new Little Magic, who are also as well searching for the Dark Energy, Dark Spell Ultimate Power as well. The Dark Druids exactly agree they'll keep Ghostboy quietly apprised, and they'll keep him on the loop as well. On the 10th of September, Ghostboy exactly attended a meeting of the members of the Order of the Five on an ancient and powerful Dark Crystal Temple, where Shadow Master exactly reassured the members of the Order, where Master Shadow exactly reassured the members of the Order of the Five that everything else is quietly on track, that the players are quietly on board, and that everything else is quietly set in order to begin in motion. And also Darklight was very quietly, but also Darklight exactly kept the members of the Order of the Five that underestimating the universal heroes and the universal Earth heroes' ability in thwarting the operation can never exactly happen again. And the Goddess of Life quietly agreed as well at that time that they cannot exactly underestimate their foes and their enemies, especially in taking them down and also removing them out of the way completely. And Ghostboy was very quietly proud and very quietly enlightened until elderly Granny stepped in from the shadows and reassured the members of the Order of the Five that everything else is on track and everything else is on order, and that there's a plan in place to deal with the universal heroes and to using them as pawns, and to completely using them as pawns, and also to use the universal defending heroes and the universal space heroes as pawns for them to completely take down the enemy, which they will gain to become the sole rulers of the cosmos and become the sole rulers of the cosmos and of the sacred world and of the sacred universe in the process. And Ghostboy was quietly, reluctantly proud and very, very gratefully enlightened with this discovery, and very quietly pleased to see that the plan is quietly in place and that everything else is in order the way it's supposed to be. Despite this, guys, Ghostboy is a very powerful dark magic user who has lived for many centuries and for many, many years. He's an ancient primordial evil who's extremely immortal and very powerful, capable of teleportation, opening portals, capable of teleportation, opening portals, reading minds, mind controlling, possessioning, resurrection, reincarnation power ability, controlling the dark dimension and the dark universe, controlling the dark dimension's power in the dark universe, manipulating shadow energy and shadow magic all at will, with the power to reappear at will and with the power to reappear and disappear at will. Ghostboy is very, very skilled in dark magic and in deception and in manipulation. He's very ambitious with these plans and with these dreams and with these goals to becoming the ultimate dark, powerful, formidable dark magic user ever existed. He hates and despises the warlocks and the witches and the Four-Nation Hunters, and also his greatest competitor, known as Witchcaster, and he's willing to do whatever it takes to compete against her and also take her down by any means necessary. He has a capable ability to reading minds and also to exactly see through lies, and his capable ability of conjuring dark magical orbs in order to see through the soul of the body, capable of exactly resurrecting the body and also manipulating ghost magic at will. He's a very powerful dark magic user who has lived for many centuries and for many, many, many years. Ancient being, according to the Four-Nation Hunter studies, that Ghostboy is a very powerful ancient primordial entity that has exactly lived for many centuries and for many years. He's extremely intelligent, very powerful, skilled in deception and in dark magic, very ruthless and cruel in nature, very, very, very smart, very, very, very smart, who's a high-ranking member of a secret group of supervillains known as the Order of the Five, that decides the fate of humanity, that wants to rule and conquer the known universe and the rest of sacred existence in that process, which is an ancient secret society that has exactly been operating for many years and for many centuries as well. Well, that's it for today, guys. I'll exactly see you tomorrow. For those of you who will exactly receive sorts tomorrow, but for those of you who will exactly receive tomorrow's video on Monday, which I'll be able to exactly deliver to you on a Monday. So take care and also have a wonderful day and an afternoon and evening. I'll exactly see you tomorrow on shorts. And also for those of you who will be able to exactly receive sorts, you will exactly able to receive sorts. But for those of you who won't be able to receive tomorrow's video because I have a bit of a problem in uploading it. So yeah, I'll exactly see you tomorrow. God bless you all. Love you and stay safe. Bye.